Hello everyone, hope you're doing well. Turns out there's more changelogs which have come for War Thunder with little fixes when it comes to the major updates. Obviously, whenever stuff gets added to War Thunder, not everything goes to plan. And that is basically what these videos are about, talking about the stuff that they've had to fix along the way. One of the cool things in these changelogs that they have fixed is a bug that caused the sound to play when getting assists, so they've got rid of that. Don't know how that was a bug, maybe they were testing something, but my god, was it annoying. So I'm very happy that they've got rid of that. So in this video, we're going to go through the changelogs, we're going to have a chat about the changes, and see what's going on with the game, and with the announcement of the ground event coming next, I'm looking forward to getting back into some ground stuff. As always, if you enjoy the content, make sure to subscribe, and also like the video. Let's get started. The first changelog is for update 2.51.0.24, and this is just a general bug fix of the major updates. So for example, for aircraft, we had the JH-7A and also the JH-7, a bug that caused the bomb hardpoints to not be displayed on the left wing has been fixed. And also, the Fokker D-23, there was a bug that caused the aircraft to have excessive speeds when spawning in the air, and that's been fixed. And yeah, that was the one we talked about the other day, where it was spawning in at 3,000 kilometers an hour. So the moment you spawned in, the plane just went, ah! And then just had to, break itself apart. The other one, though, the invisible ordnance thing, this has been affecting a few vehicles. It affected the Mosquito bomber and affected a few others, so I wonder if this is a more general issue that's happening. Then we have the JF-17. There was a bug that occurred when using the semi-circular radar indicator, or the B-scope, where the scan sweep could extend beyond the indicator's limits. That's been fixed, which is positive. And then, for ground vehicles, we have another BTR fix. The BTR is 2AT. There was a bug that caused the BTR to disappear when the camera was zoomed in, and that's been fixed. The erroneously absent reconnaissance UAV has also been added because they forgot to add it. We talked about this the other day because this has affected a few vehicles, such as the CV9105, where they just forgot to add it in until a bit later. The BTR kind of had the same issue as the PLZ-05. I wonder if the PLZ-05 still has this issue. But if you actually angled the PLZ at a specific angle, the vehicle would just go invisible. And I don't think this happened to like other players, but if you were controlling the PLZ, it would happen. And I wonder if that's still a bug with the thing. I never saw it got fixed, and it was just such a weird bug, such an oddity compared to everything else. Because if you held your camera at a specific angle, and I mean a really specific angle, the thing would disappear. But apart from that, everything was fine with it. For naval vessels, the minimum time between switching modes in the new damage control system has been changed from 30 seconds to 4 seconds, which it's kind of odd because they said that it was going to be like 4 seconds, and it was 4 seconds on the dev server, and then it got changed to 30 seconds at some point, which obviously is quite a long time. And I get why they added this new system. They want to lower survivability of vehicles. They want to, basically make it so people die quicker, and that means that you get more kills and technically more points, but also you die quicker. So there's just a little bit more going on in the battle instead of just two vehicles slugging each other for 10 minutes hoping for the best. But yeah, it's a bit odd that they changed that, and now they've reverted the change, or at least put it back to what it was on the dev server. For the interface changes, there was a bug that could cause a player in a tank or ship to spawn at a random spawn point rather than the one they selected, and that has been fixed. There was a bug that caused players who were destroyed while spotted on the minimap to remain spotted after respawning, and that has been fixed. And a bug that caused tanks destroyed in the test drive in realistic mode to not reappear on the minimap, and that has been fixed too. So a bunch of little things there, which once again are great to see fixed. For graphics, you had a bug that caused graphical artifacts to appear on some video cards when on high SSAO settings. That's been fixed. That is something which I saw a lot of people talking about, and it's very nice that they fixed that. I still remember a few updates ago where a lot of the trees in the game for me had like weird green and blue squares on them for a little bit, and then eventually they fixed that. So lovely to see. And for locations and missions for the Tank Assault Ardennes, so PvE, there's a bug that caused the trenches to float in the air. Oh, well, that's not great. And then also the Domination 1 on North Holland, a bug that caused the houses to appear on the runways has been fixed. Oh, can you imagine trying to take off, trying to dodge houses? One of the things I would like them to once again have a look at is there are certain areas of the game where they've obviously just like plonked airfields down because that's where they wanted to put them in the terms of the mission. They don't really like thematically fit into the maps, and I'd just like them to adjust their height a little bit because some of them really are just on mounds of earth on top of everything else just being way lower in terms of its size, and it just looks a little bit odd. So it'd be nice if they could kind of readjust that. It's not a huge thing, doesn't really change the gameplay or whatever, but it just makes it look more natural, and I think that is an important thing in War Thunder. You can't always just have stuff look a little bit unnatural. Also, update 2.51.0.31. This, of course, is the one from today. There was a bunch of aircraft changes. A bug that made it impossible to lock onto a target from the TWS HDN mode has been fixed. Okay, that's quite a large bug, because that's one of the larger modes at the highest echelon of the game, and if it just wasn't working, then obviously that's going to affect quite a lot. The XF5U1, the flight model itself has been updated, so everything that you saw from the flapjack before this has basically just been neutered. The LD ratio at high AOA, or angle of attack, has been increased, engine performance has been adjusted, gross weight has been reduced relative to early specification, so the prototypes had less fuel and no ADI. So from what I've seen, at least from the data mines, the performance should be worse now of the Flapjack, and it was already pretty bad, so basically you're just getting a worse vehicle. The F-15C Golden Eagle, they changed the size of the radar search zones in TWS mode, made it a lot better than what it was previously, so hopefully that should be good. It is just slightly wider is the way to put it, and that should be great. So it means that you'll be able to cover more of the sky, and with TWS wanting to mark as many targets as possible is usually the general way to go. Also, a lot of the new vehicles were added to the NCTR, which is the non-cooperative target recognition. This is the mode where on a lot of high-tip planes it actually tells you what you are locking onto in terms of your radar. So the Su-30 Mk2, the F-15C, the F-16AM, the Tornado IDS SLE, the JH-7, and the JH-7A prototype have all been added to the system. It kind of sucks that they weren't added as the update comes out, but at least they're done now. The F-111F and also the Su-24M, but only specifically the nuclear versions of these things, which were added either in the last update or the update before. There was a bug where the name of the countermeasures in the stat card was displayed as a text key, so they've fixed that as well. Also, for naval vessels, the Miyoko, a bug that prevented torpedo resupply from starting, has been fixed, which is super useful. In naval, they actually did a really cool change where you can reload torpedoes even if you don't fire all of your torpedoes, and that is huge, especially for naval arcade. Super nice that they've done that, and even in realistic, for a lot of the Japanese vehicles, that's really good since they get multiple torpedo reloads on many of their different launchers. For locations and missions, there was a bug that caused excessive fog in naval and air missions, and that has been fixed. This fix improves long-range visibility, which isn't too surprising. For matching, which I'm guessing is matchmaking or something like that, for PlayStation, there was a bug where an error would occur and when attempting to play ground and air realistic battles with crossplay disabled, and that has been fixed. So basically you would have a bug which if you had crossplay off you wouldn't be able to find battles but even if there was enough people queuing it wouldn't put you in a battle. So that obviously really sucks because it means that you wouldn't be able to get into it. So it's nice that they've fixed that. Also for graphics, there was a bug where cockpit glazing would take on a green tint when ray tracing was enabled for transparent surfaces. That has been fixed too. I want to get into ray tracing, but my PC, it just isn't powerful enough. Maybe next year, maybe we'll build a new one, and maybe we'll see where we can get to. So that's all the changes of the last few days. As always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next time. I'd just like to thank GMG Smiley, CD Beans, Chieftain Mike, EMN3 Galaxy, Tulio Pontecorvo, Brendan Quinn, Carrion Crow, Gus Irenicus, Pyman, Wartinder, Teddy, Daniel Stanton, Martinez, B. Young, Ozzy Panzer, Alan Hacker, Liam Shear, Opium Prime, Lafouche, Sem Aslan, Uncle Bean, and Derek R. for supporting the channel.